threat.
Right arm!
Right arm!
Hurry up, hurry up! You guys have been doing the tourniquets, you know proper placement, and that's what we want to see out here. And I told you earlier, do not, I'm going to just reinforce that. Don't rush, don't rush through this. Do it safely, and as you start gaining, you're going, okay, this is good, this isn't that bad, a little bit different than the classroom, then you can start picking up speed. You should be working on all this stuff, just like with every drill you've done out here, hit the target. Concentrate on hitting the target. If you're not hitting it, yeah, I know you're shooting with one hand, your strong hand or your weak hand. Well, slow down. Just slow down and hit the target. And then, reholster safely.
You'll see me over accentuate my movement whenever I'm laying on the ground for a leg, right? That's just, I want you guys to think about that, right? I'm gonna pull it. I'm gonna go maybe up around. I may roll over just a little bit, but I'm gonna go around. You guys shot on your backs yesterday. So just whenever you see me doing that, you guys try to mimic it, because it lets us know that you guys are doing the right thing and you're being safe doing it.
So when everybody's on the line, one of the biggest issues we have, this is a big line. Mick's gonna have the comms, right? So you're gonna have to be listening up. We're gonna limit it to 2 rounds. When we say, hey, call threat, put 2 rounds on the steel, right? You're gonna draw, put 2 rounds on the steel. I know that that's not normally what you would do. You'd burn them down if you had to, right? 5, 6 rounds, that's great. But the problem is if everybody's shooting that much, you're not gonna hear me call or Mick call left arm, right leg, or something like that. So draw, fire 2 rounds and stand by for a second. You'll hear us call it, left or right, arm or leg, and then go into your drill. The way we're gonna show you out here, which Joel's gonna demonstrate when he goes, is you're gonna drop to your knees when you go to put it on your arm. We're simulating cover. We're not gonna run back to cover right now and do all that. We're simulating cover. The other thing is when we're on the line here, it's a lot safer if we secure the weapon. We turn the weapon and you'll see it, it'll be grip out, right? So your magazine wells out so you can reload with one hand if you need to. And we're gonna put it between our knees and actively secure it with our knees. And you'll see Joel's gonna do it. If I was in a real situation, is it okay if I laid the gun next to me? Yeah, of course it is. We're about speed and just knowing that it's there. But I also don't like the fact that, thanks Z, I also don't like the fact that if I lay my gun down here and I'm working on a tourniquet and rounds start pinging off the ground around me, what my natural instinct is probably gonna be to hit the ground and crawl or do something, am I gonna grab that gun? Or am I gonna remember to grab that gun, okay? There's a lot of different techniques, and if you know a different one, as long as it's safe, that's great. I've seen people, doing this and all kinds of stuff. What's the issue with this one in a situation like this? We're either flagging our own body, we're flagging somebody else on the range. This, to me, I like this technique right here. When we turn it here, I'm actively holding it. It's not like this. Does everybody see that? It's not laying flat. If I go and I drop my gun, don't go to grab it, let it hit the ground and go ahead and secure it. Does that make sense? When it's here and I put my tourniquet, finish putting my tourniquet on, now I can still get a good grip and I can still come up and re-engage the target. If I have to deal with a reload, my magazine's right here, either hand I can deal with this, okay? Because you are gonna end up having to reload, right? Probably with your weak side, your strong side, and if you've never done it, just take your time. If you got any questions or something happens, plenty of instructors out here. Throw up your non-firing hand, somebody will come over and talk you through it, okay, if you're having trouble with it.
Hey guys, you all comfortable shooting with one hand? It's a yes or a no? Yes. You want to run one mag with a single hand? Why don't we do it just for the hell of it? Up! So draw, fire 1, go to your knee. You guys with those single actions and double actions.
This is the time to get a good grip.
There's a lot.
Don't be in a rush. You're not in a rush. This isn't a race. Remember, you've got that other, you got an ambi too. You guys comfortable with that? All right, let's do tourniquets now. This is all really simple shit. The gun's still got to be made to be kept working regardless, right? So don't get wrapped around the axle. Don't point it at yourself. You still got to grip it tight. If you take one hand off, you just got to maintain even more sturdiness in that grip because you still got the same amount of gun to control. Ready? Left arm!
Left arm! Left arm!
Left arm!
Left arm! How about that threat that just showed up? How about him?
Threat! 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 Finish that tourniquet. High and tight. High and tight. Good. Re-engage when you're done. Good. Good shot. Good. All right, reset those tourniquets.
Reset the tourniquet. Reholster. Threat. Right arm. Right arm. Right arm.
Go ahead. Drop down to your knee. There you go.
Your right arm is.
Get down on your knees, strap the gun between.
Sorry, I misunderstood
Because now
you.
if you're hurt, it's going to be hard to reholster. Right.
No, idiot.
You lose mobility. High and tight. Is that high?
Threat.
Get it up there.
Threat.
Push it. Get it up there. Get it up there. Higher.
Robert, there is a threat in front of you.
Right back on that tourniquet, guys. Right back on the tourniquet. Finish it off.
If you're putting a tourniquet on that arm, then you probably can't use the arm with a tourniquet. But right arm!
Right arm! Right arm!
Right arm!
Right arm. Can't move that right arm. Gotta hang there. Reload there.
Threat! 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 Come on, get the hits, Matt! If you're missing, tell yourself what's important for me to get this hit. Don't just keep missing. What's that?
After you finish the tourniquet, re-engage. And then go ahead and secure your weapon between your knees. Take the tourniquet off and then put away your weapon. Good. Hey guys, after you finish the tourniquet drill, you re-engage. Finish the tourniquet, re-engage, and then place the gun back between your knees so that you can undo the tourniquet and then safely reholster your weapon. Don't try to do your left hand, dropping it in the holster. Hold it between your knees just like you did. Take off the tourniquet and then use your shooting hand to reholster. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Threat! Left arm!
Left arm, left arm, left arm!
Left arm!
There you go.
So that gun could go in your holster, right? Maybe not though, because it'll be a pain in the ass to get out for some of yous. Threat! See, they're in the black box. Threat! Left leg!
Left leg, left leg, left leg. There you go, reholster. Best place for that gun is in the holster.
Remember, like yesterday, we learned how to get this gun out of the ground so that when we call threat, threat,
Threat!
draw that gun and be conscious of where. Listen to me. Holster slow. You're not in a rush. You could even set that gun on the ground next to you, pointing down range. So you guys are doing this skill right now, building the skill, but you've done it enough times. If you get, shoot! Good job.
You've got that on your leg.
Yeah, if you're done.
It should be almost impossible for you.
If you're done, if you've gone through it and put your final rounds on the threat, stand up and get that tourniquet reset. Toot sweet. That's French for hurry the threat. Right leg, right leg. Are you paying attention? Because there's a threat in front of you. Load that blaster. Load that blaster back up.
Back. There you go. Careful. Do it slowly.
There you go. What's important right now? What's important right now? I love seeing fingers taped up. It meant that you're doing something.
Get it in there. Time. All right.
Dominate those blasters. Did you get that on? Threat! Right leg!
Right leg, right leg, right leg. Nice.
Threat! 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 Left leg!
Left leg, left leg.
Threat!
Hey, check it out real quick. So we're talking about being safe with your muzzle, right? All our safety rules are redundant for a reason, right? We know the condition of the weapon, always. We assume it's loaded. We keep our finger off the trigger until it's time to press that trigger for a reason, right? We keep our muzzle in a safe direction we know it's beyond our target, right? It's kind of difficult when you're in all these weird compromising positions, right? And me and Don were just talking about it. If we were in the shit, you know, all kinds of chaos around us, and I had to get a tourniquet on, and I had to shoot, I wouldn't give two shits about really if I muzzled my leg as long as I was doing everything else right, because I know I'm not going to press that trigger when I'm muzzling my leg. But that's not what we rely on, right? We don't want to increase the likelihood of something bad happening to us. So if you're interviewing a bus driver to drive your kids to school, you get a guy in there and he says, hey, and you ask him, you say, hey man, how good can you navigate these roads out here? You pretty good? He's like, man, I get so close to the edge, I never off the edge. I'm awesome in the bus, bro. I weave in and out of traffic. I'm a real good driver. He leaves, the next guy comes in and he says, hey, how close can you get to the edge before you run off the road? He's like, I don't know. I don't get to the edge. I don't try that. It's not worth it, right? So when we're out here and we're being dramatic about our movements and keeping that gun up and moving it around our leg or dipping our leg under our muzzle, right? It's not range theatrics, right? It's me being very mindful, going out of the way, not to push the envelope because when it comes to safety, right? And then when the shit really hits the fan and I'm all messing things up, maybe I'll muzzle myself a little bit, but I'm pretty close.
They were lasering all around them.
So we want to err on the side of safety as much as possible. Don't worry about where you look. If you're holding your gun way up high like this, it's not because I'm trying to show you how dramatic I can be with a gun. It's because I'm not trying to just barely miss your head with my gun. I'm trying to make sure there's no doubt that I miss your head with this gun. No doubt that I miss my leg with that gun, right? There's no doubt. I'm not trying to see how close I can get. That's not a determination of how skilled you are, right? And you will and things will when things are chaotic.
Yep. Amen.
Right? All right, so make sure you're very mindful. I get on my side. If I get out of that holster, my leg's down in front of me. I'm going to bring around that thing. I can push past my knee and bring it back. I can just turn on my hip. I can straighten my leg out. I can push. I can be very dramatic as long as I'm not pointing up at my instructor standing near me, right? I can be very, very dramatic with it. Err on the side of safety. Go out of your way to miss that thing, and then hopefully, when you're not thinking about it, you'll still do the right thing. That system, Paul's mentioned it 100 times, I've mentioned it. Systems, they need to take over when I'm thinking about more important things like the steel that's deadly in front of you, all right? That's all I got, man. We switching out?
I think that sometimes though we can make safety where like if I think we said it yesterday, if we want to be safe, we can just take all these guns and throw them in that creek, and then we're done as well. Yeah, I'm not contradicting you. I mean, you got to just stay mindful of that.
Nick, you said you want to wrestle. All right.
Let's wrestle. Let's add a little movement now at the start of the drill. How about that? Step off the line and draw and engage. Can we do that? So same thing we did earlier. We'll call threat, but break off the line as you apply those first rounds. Sound okay? Threat. Right arm!
Right arm! Right arm!
Right arm!
Oh, I found up.
Hurry up! Hurry up!
Take a knee. Take a knee. Get
Hurry
small.
up! Hurry
Get
up!
small.
3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 7,000, 8,000.
Nice. There.
Come on, Halls. There you go. Press straight back, Halls. Straight back. There you go. Through. Target press. Put the finger on there. Y'all with me? Up. Right arm! Right arm! Right arm!
Right arm, right arm.
What about that threat? Threat! Threat! Give me one of those. Guys, it's important that you put these things back together right, because otherwise you're getting reps with a tourniquet that will not be in the condition with which you will find it on a person's vest or in their kit or anything like that. So don't just put them any old way. If you don't remember, ask. How about that? Threat! 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 Left leg! I like these laser beams. I like them a lot. Are you okay?
Yeah, no, that was tight.
Nico caught his testy.
Nice.
Did you guys just do all 4 or was that 3?
Good job, Nico.
Get them tourniquets off. Get them reset. Fall back. Top off your guns, your mags. Take a sip of water. Hey, if you're like me, constantly looking for an edge, Gunfighter Gun Oil. Works in all conditions, never breaks down, never shellacks, keeps your gun lubed and ready to rock. Only available at CarryTrainer.com.